Another issue that gained prominence was the discussion about the imbalances in the world system. Some countries accumulated high debts and others, like China, high levels of reserves. Increased pressure was applied over China to raise the value of its currency. China's reaction was to propose the creation of a global currency. At this point, it is of the utmost complexity. So far, nothing has happened. And we remain at that point. The Chinese said, well, to confront such a tremendous crisis, we need a kind of new currency composed by a basket of different currency. This is very important to say, but it's very difficult to implement. So the situation remains as it has been up to today. This shock cannot fail to produce geopolitical consequences. It is true that the states and societies have proved resilient to the crisis. There was no political fallout in terms of populism or extremism. Surprisingly, the predominant feeling has been a kind of general resignation to the state of things as they are. Even the altermondists, those who were against globalization, so to speak, in their denunciations of the evils of globalization, remain quite silent as the crisis unfolds. It is as given the lack of a viable alternative. The task at hand is to repair the current system, not to replace it with something else. But so far the system has not been repaired, much less reformed. In open and competitive system, incumbents everywhere are having a hard time. Obama won the election as a reformer and now suffers the inevitable erosion of an incumbent. Poor Obama. Bad luck to be elected exactly in the middle of the crisis. Well, I know that because I suffered several crises. It's not easy. In Japan, the ruling Liberal Party was defeated. Change is now imminent in Britain. Maybe the Labour will be even capable to overcome, but it's limited, it's restricted. We are trying to recover, but we don't know yet if we will recover. And even countries that have been considered successful economies like Brazil, last year, 2008, the rate of growth was 5. 2009 was 0. In practice, was 0.0, negative. So it was a tremendous, decay. So this is the situation, and we will face political, not turmoil in a strong sense, but political change. In Spanish, we used to say earthquake when it's a real earthquake. When it's a small one, we say temblores. So the political system is now going to pass through temblores. Not necessarily an earthquake, but some temblores. This leads me to the second part of my talk, a reflection about change in contemporary society. I will offer you a bold hypothesis. Given the apparent rigidity of society today, and perhaps because of that, change, when it comes, occurs in a quite unexpected way as a kind of short circuit. The short circuit may be contained in life goes on, as if nothing had happened, or the spark may ignite a fire that engulfs the whole system, revealing the extent to its structural degree of decay in the biosciences. Both of these contemporary revolutions have a profound cultural impact. They reshape the way we live. In this sense, they go beyond the political revolutions of the past, whose major impact was on the structures of economic domination. They also have in common the fact that both disperse power and enhance the capacity of individuals to think, decide, and act by themselves. Open societies are less organized but more connected. Communication is increasingly participative, interactive, and collaborative. Life science and biomedicine are transforming our social landscape and enhancing ordinary people's capacity to control their lives. Technological innovation reshapes the mode of production and reframes human relations. Globalization strengthens the market. Freedom and choice strengthen society. What do these changes mean for the future of global democratic governance? Today, global problems that affect us all, from climate change and nuclear proliferation to epidemics, terrorism, international crime, can no longer be addressed only by states. They give rise to sustain new massive forms of social mobilization. This is a major shift that has gradually unfolded over the last 2 decades. Activists, thinkers, and scientists, businessmen, and spiritual leaders have been generating ideas and policy proposals on a wide variety of planetary issues. Media, public opinion, cities, all kinds of citizen coalitions and networks produce a steady flow of messages and arguments that influence the global public debate. In a conference, will prove stronger than the forces of regression. Problems will continue to be global, and the actors engaged in the search for solutions will be many. Let us also not lose sight that over the last decades, the standard of living of hundreds of millions of people raised above poverty. Even inequality, this most intractable byproduct of capitalist development, reversed its long historical pattern and diminished in some countries. This positive trend will certainly pick up again with force once the turmoil generated by the crisis is overcome. That is why I think it is high time to deepen the discussion about the basic common values that define us all as human beings. What we do miss, and we probably continue to miss, is the surge of a great art that was so characteristic of the Renaissance. Perhaps this is the price we have to pay for the demise of the utopias. I believe that this revitalization across the divides of culture and religion, of freedom and choice, the essential values of humanism, is a precious small utopia more than worthwhile pursuing. In counterpoint to the great utopias of the past, the affirmation of these values intrinsic to our common humanity is not an illusion. We no longer hope to their accomplishment in a nowhere land or in an indeterminate time in the future. Sharing and strengthening common human values are our endeavor here and now.